and welcome to my wrap-up video for March. I'm still having trouble figuring out what month it is. So I'm going to be talking about all the books I read in chronological order. So some of them have book reviews, some of them don't. So let's do it. So the first book I read, I actually read on my Kindle. It was a reread for me and a buddy read with David's book reviews, and that is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This is one of my favorite books of all time. I do have a book review / book chat about it coming up. I haven't decided how I want to do it yet. This is a book that's really hard for me to talk about without completely spoiling it, so stay tuned for that. This book's one of my favorite books in the entire world. The second book I read, which was actually what I did my very first reading vlog with, is The House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. This book is a book about a girl that is in her late teens trying to figure out why her sisters are all dying. It is got a lot of nautical references in it. I will link my reading vlog / book review above so you can check that out. I highly recommend this if you like YA. That's sort of a mystery and sort of horror. It's kind of light horror-esque, but if you get scared really easy, this might even be on the high end for some people, but good book. The third book I read was The Black Monday Murders by Jonathan Hickman. This is volume 1. Steph and I from the Nerdy Fox did a book chat on it. I'm going to go ahead and just leave the book chat above. Check the book chat out. This is such a good book. It has to do with money and gods and human sacrifice, and it's good. So, the fourth book I read was Miss Felicity Beadle's The World of Poo by Terry Pratchett. This is part of the Discworld series. I was just looking for a Terry Pratchett book. This is all my library had at the time. It was in the adult section, but I'm pretty positive this is a children's book. It's got really adorable illustrations in it. This book is essentially about a boy who is obsessed with poo because somebody told him bird poo was lucky, so now he needs to collect the poo and make a poo museum. It was cute. I actually laughed a lot. Even if it is for children, I really enjoyed it. Eleanor, her channel, she talks a lot about Terry Pratchett, and it made me want to read it, so this is as good as I got so far. I'm gonna look into more, but yeah. Yay for children's books. The next thing I read is the 15th installment of Something's Killing the Children by James Tinian IV. I believe this is the last installment. I could be wrong. It felt like it ended, but I wouldn't be upset if there was more. So the premise of this entire story is that there are these monsters that are literally just ripping children apart and eating them, and this girl comes along and she's like, I know what this is. I'm gonna kill it. And there's an adventure that ensues. So if you like comic books and you like horror and you like something that's a little bit gruesome, check that out. The sixth book I read was The Girl in the Tower by Catherine Arden. This is the second book in the Winter Night trilogy. I absolutely love this book. I gushed over it for days and I couldn't stop thinking about it. Thankfully, I had the third book waiting in the wings. We'll talk about that in a second. But I'm going to link my book review for the first novel, and my book review for this should be coming out soon, so I will have that linked here once it is out. This book follows our main character Vasya, as she travels like she's always wanted to, and the hijinks that ensue along with all of her pretending and whatnot. So I love this. I couldn't have loved it any more than I did. There's a lot of action, magic. Oh, this is such a good book. If you haven't picked up The Bear and the Nightingale, the first book, please do. You won't regret picking it up and picking up the following books. It's just, this has got to be one of my favorite trilogies of all time now. The seventh book I read is ApocalyptiGirl, an Aria for the End of Time by Andrew MacLean. This is a very short graphic novel. It is about a girl who I'm assuming is a teenager to her early 20s on a planet that is pretty much dead with kind of alien creatures on it. The best part about this is her relationship with her cat. I will throw up a few images. This book is in full color. I actually really enjoyed it. I didn't, obviously, like, I wasn't in love with it. I wasn't enthralled, but I really enjoyed my read. And if you want something quick that might be a palate cleanser between novels, she's your girl. The 8th book I read is The Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden. This is the 3rd book in the Winter Night trilogy. I have now finished the Winter Night trilogy. I cannot express my love for this trilogy in words. After I finished this book, I bawled unconsolably for like an hour. It was just so good. Yes, I'm emotional. Yes, I'm a crier, but I'm not like crying for an hour after a book ends crier. Like a little cry, sure, but not that long. I can't really talk about unless you've read the 1st and 2nd book. So this book is full of action, magic, new realms, kick buttness. It's awesome. When I say this is probably one of my favorite, this might actually be my favorite trilogy of all time. I'm gonna have to ponder that. And last but not least, New World, an anthology of sci-fi and fantasy. This book is by various authors. It has 24 short stories in it. 8 of them I liked. 2 of them hit me in my feelings really hard. 1 of them made me laugh out loud. And all in all, I didn't enjoy the thing as a whole. I felt like a lot of them felt unfinished. Some of them felt like you were getting a very tiny snidbit of a whole story, and it just left me annoyed, to be quite honest. Now, the art in here, some of it's good, some of it's bad. I'll throw up a few pictures to just show you some of it, but I don't recommend you pick this up unless you're going to look for certain stories. My Goodreads is linked below if you want to go see the ones that I enjoyed. You can do that or not. So that was the video. I have to take all of these books, well, almost all of these books, back to the library now, because if not, I'm going to accrue a late fee. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it, and if you do, maybe hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, leave me a comment if you've read any of these or want to, and have a good day.